open lane, and the emphatic finish.
Ace for three.
No way.
Bank the three.
Run out the other way.
That's one for the highlight.
And he's fouled. Watch for that stop.
Welcome to Case Arena. Mike Folta, Sean Walker here alongside you on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight, the 5th-ranked 2A Tipton Blue Devils pay a visit to the Frankfort Hot Dogs. Both teams played last night, with Frankfort getting its 4th straight win against Southmont and Tipton falling to West Lafayette in the Hoosier Conference title game. Sean, good to be back on with you. It should be a fun one tonight. Let's get right into our pregame show, sponsored by Ardent Dental. Braces starting at $199 a month. Visit ardentdental.com to schedule an appointment with Dr. Snyder and her team of professional smile makers. Let's get to those keys to victory right off the bat, Sean.
Let's take a look. I mean, honestly, these two teams are very similar in the way that they like to get after people. So the first key tonight is going to be to value the basketball. Point guard Malik King for the Frankfort Hot Dogs loves to play at a quick tempo, but he averages 4 turnovers a game. It's one of those things where Coach Van Dyne has had to have a balance between trying to pull the reins back on a runaway racehorse or slow him down so much that you take him out of his element. And I think that if they can just get him to value the basketball tonight, maybe keep those turnovers to 2 to 3, at least one possession can make a difference here. And then secondly, dribble drive. Both point guards love to handle the basketball. They love to get into the lane and create open shots for shooters and get to the free throw line if they have the opportunity to finish. And then number 3 is fatigue for me. They're both coming off of a game last night. It's a back-to-back. Neither team is real deep. They're starting 5 plays a lot of minutes. So we're going to see, we're at the end of the season now. Obviously you're in shape, but soreness, injuries, things like that can start to take a toll here at this time of year. So those are my keys for tonight's game.
Those are the keys to victory, sponsored by Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key. With over 40 years of experience, the team at Haley's can help protect what you care about the most. We specialize in locks, safes, and keys, and access controls for your home and business. Call us today at 447-5726 or visit haleyslock.com. We talked about Malik King a little bit. Who are our players to watch here tonight?
Well, we're going to start with on Tipton's side of the basketball. It's going to be their leading scorer, and Lucas Swan. A guy that can really shoot the basketball from mid-range, from deep, all really solid basketball player. They're going to need him to put those points up. You see 14.2 points per game. He might need 18, 19 tonight for the Tipton Blue Devils. On the other side, it's Siegfried. Alex Siegfried is a transfer in. He came to Frankfort last year, immediately made his impact. He's leading the team in scoring this season. Same thing here. They may need him to go for 20 tonight for Frankfort to be successful and get this victory over Tipton.
Those are your players to watch, sponsored by Tipmont RAMC. An in-home energy assessment is the easy, convenient, and free way to measure your home's energy efficiency, lowering your energy bills and saving you money. Visit tipmont.org for more details. Tipmont RAMC, empowering our communities. So who's the one impact player tonight, Sean, that could be maybe an X factor in this game?
That's going to be Malik King. I think for me, he is the driving force for the Hot Dogs. As he goes, they kind of go. His temperament, his speed of play, his pace of play, and he's one of those guys that the madder he gets, the better he plays. When he plays with a chip on his shoulder, he is a very good basketball player because he will attack and keep the defense on their heels all night long. Malik's going to have to be big for them tonight, and you see the stat categories there. He's one of the leaders. Not only, he's second in points, but then he's up there in rebounds and assists as well, and steals. He's one of those guys that just does it all. He's always around the basketball. Frankfort is going to need that tonight to come out of here with a 5th straight win.
That is your impact player, brought to you by the Farmers Bank. Take your banking on the go with our new mobile banking app, the Farmers Bank, my bank for life. We're going to take a quick break. We've got a couple minutes still till tip-off, so when we come back here on the ISC Sports Network, we will bring you the opening minutes of Tipton and Frankfort.
Labor and delivery unit. Clinton County has a teen pregnancy rate 2.5 times higher than the national rate.
You are the #1 influence in our decision making. I know it's not easy to talk to your kids about sexual and reproductive health, but if you don't, who will?
Call Purdue Extension or the Learning Network at 659-6380. for information on a free program to help you learn ways to help your child delay sexual initiation and prevent risky behaviors.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Throws for the end zone, man open. That's a touchdown. Touchdown grab for Marion. There you go.
And why pull up for a jumper from 3 or even a mid-range when you can go right down the lane?
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La
Hands all
Salle.
alone. Scott got it.
Great look by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
When you visit Pepe's Mexican restaurant, you'll be greeted a fun, vibrant family atmosphere. Whether you're joining us for lunch, dinner, or a special occasion, our manageable prices and sizable portions of authentic Mexican dishes will guarantee you won't be leaving hungry. And as always, free appetizers for waiting, because that's just the way we are. So come dine in or carry out. Open 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. every day. Pepe's Mexican restaurant, located at 2525 Sagamore Parkway in the mall parking lot, Lafayette.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Wouldn't you rather take your child to practice than to rehab? 28.3% of Indiana seniors reported that they have been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property. Clinton County has the third highest rate of non-fatal ER visits due to opioid overdose.
You are the #1 influence on our decision making. I know it's not easy to talk to your kids about drugs, but if you don't, who will?
Call Healthy Communities for information on a free program to help you learn ways to reduce risk factors that can lead to drug use.
We love to see you here at the Farmers Bank. However, we know there are times you need to bank on your schedule, wherever you may be. With the Farmers Bank mobile banking app, you can check balances, transfer funds, pay bills, and now you can also securely deposit checks with your smartphone by simply taking a picture of the check. Download our mobile banking app today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life.
Every business we work with at Haley's has different security needs. As a certified Medico Security Center, we provide the highest quality products with affordable solutions for your business. E-cylinders fit into your existing hardware and are controlled from your computer. Medico Smart Solutions provide options for different employee access levels. Patented key control, loss and liability protection. Surveillance cameras protect your employees and your business. Call today for your free business security assessment. Let the professionals at Haley's keep your business safe with locations in Lafayette and Crawfordsville.
Welcome back to Case Arena, where Tipton and Frankfort are about to get underway. Mike Fulton, Sean Walker here alongside you on the ISC Sports Network. Sean, kind of an interesting setup here. We have Frankfort, who's coming in with a lot of momentum. Maybe not the season that they were hoping for under new head coach Nate Van Dyne, but they've picked up some steam, which could be good rolling into the tournament starting up in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, it's a great time to be rolling is at the end of the year. You know, string 4 or 5 victories together in a row, and you're on to something. If you can carry that momentum and confidence into the tournament, look out. I mean, Frankfort is traditionally a very good basketball team. May have just taken a little time to get into Coach Van Dyne's system, but they look comfortable right now.
Well, there are the lineups for both teams. For Frankfort, Malik King, our impact player, along with Alex Siegfried, Casey Henry, Noah Debris, and Damon Moore. Tipton comes in with maybe a bit more pedigree and a much more impressive resume as the season has played out. But they've come off of 2 losses, one of them last night at the hands of West Lafayette.
Yeah, last night's one of those you got to shake off, though. West Lafayette is a very good team in 3A, and Tipton's got to remember they're a very good team in 2A. So you play in a tough conference. You won your side of the division, and then in the conference playoff, you got beat by a bigger school and a little bit better team last night. This is a great chance for them to come back and get a win and gain some confidence themselves.
For Tipton, it's Alec Weddle, Graham Shively, Lucas Swan, Carson Dolezal, and Trent Seward. These are your starting lineups brought to you by Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech offers associate degrees and technical certificates in health sciences, nursing, technology, applied science, business, education, public services, and liberal arts. Visit ivytech.edu for more information. Nate Van Dyne, head coach for Frankfort, and Tipton, it's Lou Lefebvre. Those are the 2 skippers.
And both of these guys, you know, are tenured basketball coaches. Lou Lefebvre had a great run at Princeton, won some sectional titles, some regional titles, has brought that pedigree to Tipton. One thing that, looking at Lou Lefebvre, and there he is on the screen right there, he's never won less than 13 games in a season in a year that he's been at the helm of a high school basketball program. So obviously a very good coach. And then there's Nate Van Dyne right there, and one of the guys that is been asked to take over a program that's been down the last couple of years, and they're trying to springboard and get back here.
First year for Van Dyne, and then Lefebvre took over in 2014 for Tipton. Seward and King jump at half court, and the tip comes out to the Blue Devils.
For Tipton, I think it's going to be important to start quick here. Work your offense. Don't take a bad shot, but get off to a good start. Get some open shots, and they dial one up right away.
A 3 from the top is good. The leading scorer for Tipton, Lucas Swan, strikes first blood.
We said at the top of the telecast that Swan can score from anywhere. You saw right there, that's probably one of the easiest places to shoot from is the top of the key.
Well, averages about 14 points a game, but also a very efficient shooter. Field goal percentage at nearly 50%. Offensive rebound from King, can't get the putback.
Well, that's great work from King early on down low, though.
He's maybe one of the more versatile players on the court. Couldn't finish inside that time. Half-court offense was a concern coming in for Tipton. And there's that feisty Frankfort D, and it earns a jump ball. That was Noah Debris.
Just first look out there on the floor, Mike, I'm looking at everybody and who they're matched up with, and it's like polar out. They're just like perfect for each other. They're the opposites, height-wise. Down low with Moore and Seward are about the same height. They're like mirror images of each other out there on the floor.
2 similar teams with a lot of athleticism and size as well, as there's more out to Siegfried. Long 3 was short. A couple missed threes here in the first 2 possessions for Frankfort. Frankfort not a great 3-point shooting team.
Boy, there's King again, crashing the glass.
Crafty move behind the back, but his shot was blocked. Almost another offensive rebound for Moore, but he lost the handle.
That was Alec Weddle down there getting a hand on it.
Seward shot fake and hit the deck. I believe we have a foul on the floor. No, I think they're just going to get a inbounds off of a lost ball last touch by Frankfort. Some physical play here early on.
Seward is a lot tougher than I am. I'll be flat out honest. Moore is a big kid, and he just came down with a knee right to the sternum, and he got right up.
Dolezal was fouled on his way to the bucket. I believe they're going to get Damon Moore on this.
If Tipton had an X factor tonight, it's that kid right there. Dolezal is one that just pushes the game, pushes the tempo. He's relentless at getting to the bucket. And we covered a game earlier this year with Tipton and Central Catholic, and it seemed like he lived at the free throw line.
Well, Dupree was charged for the foul and not Moore, so that's good news for the Hot Dogs. Dolezal is 73% free throw shooter. The first is good. He goes 2 of 2. Only a junior, so Tipton gets another year of Carson Dolezal on a very senior-laden team.
Yeah, there's no doubt next year it's his squad unless, somebody really changes over the summer unexpectedly or they get a transfer in. And there's a collision down there again.
Wow.
And we talked about it before the game even started. Mike, I was telling you, I was like, these two teams are scrappy. They like to get at it after each other. They play with chips on their shoulder, and we're seeing it early on. Those bodies hitting the floor, and officials are going to have some tight whistles early just to make sure things don't get out of hand and things don't get chippy.
Siegfried got stuck on the baseline, had to get it back out. The foul was on Trent Seward. It's his first. Maybe a number to keep an eye on throughout the evening, as he's their big man inside to kind of match Damon Moore for Frankfort. Siegfried fouled once again. I think that might be Seward.
They may bail him out and give it to Weddle. Nope. It's on Seward, so that's number 2. Well, you could have really given it to either one. Where Seward failed right there is he took a swipe at the basketball. Had he just gone up and made an attempt to block it or put his hand at it, but when you swing wildly trying to block the shot and you miss the block, even though you get ball, more than 9 out of 10 times they're going to call you for the foul. And not a lot of size for Tipton. I mean, the tallest player coming off the bench is 6'2", and they actually bring in a 6-foot Luke Stoker there. Be something to watch, Mike.
Now, Stoker, only about 6'6", but we did see him on the football field this year. He's a very capable wide receiver. So he's got that athleticism piece. Bring it to the front court. There he is on the block. Offensive rebound. Stays with Tipton. Weddle finds Stoker again. This one falls.
How about that? Come off the bench and you get 2 shot attempts within 10 seconds to get one of them to go.
Well, all thanks to Alec Weddle. He grabbed 2 offensive rebounds, one of them off his own miss.
Frankfort, they need a possession here. They really need to see the ball go through the net. I think they got to get the ball work through Malik King a little bit here.
He handled it a lot those first couple possessions, but not as much. We've seen more Siegfried. A take for Dupree with the right. Almost got the floater to go. Crafty move by Siegfried. The reverse
what a
is
shot.
Good.
Did you see that?
Excellent sequence for Alex Siegfried, the senior.
What a fantastic circus shot.
We'll have to off the glass reverse layup.
We'll have to dial that one up for you from a few angles if we get an opportunity, because
he is so fun to watch. And he creates so much offense for them. Swan wants a 3 from the same spot he hit earlier. This one rims out. Frankfort in transition. Henry had it stripped away by Dolezal.
Great defense. Principle verticality there. Keep your hands straight up. Make it difficult. That should be Tipton ball. Yep, good call.
And then Henry made a nice defensive play to somewhat stall the Tipton offensive sequence.
Look at this. Gets the steal and then the kiss off the glass.
Little friendly roll here from Case Arena as well.
You see
Frankfort
the smile?
Plays very well here in Case Arena. For a team that's only 9-12, they're 6-1 here at home in friendly confines. Dolezal a 3, in and out. Here's King on the run. Slow it down a little bit. Jace Moore has recently checked into the game for Frankfort.
Good kick.
King missed everything. Not the best long-range shooter, although he has improved that aspect of his game over the past couple weeks. That one came from Stoker.
Stoker averages a little over 3 points per game. He's got 5 here in the first quarter.
Coming off the bench, and there he draws a foul.
That's an easy call. I mean, Jace Moore runs right into him, arms extended, and just clears him across the lane.
Looked like an unnecessary foul for Moore.
You know, Mike, going back to that Frankfort possession before that, I'm not trying to question Coach. Obviously, he's got him on a win streak, but I would like to see the ball in King's hands. Let him be the one driving the bucket and the kick out to Siegfried. Siegfried, obviously, a much better shooter than King from the outside, and let them both work to their strengths.
Into the game now, Dylan Muse and Aiden Moses for Tipton, along with Elijah Lillis. We have Jose Valdez Sandoval guarding Lillis on the perimeter for Frankfort, just checked in. Lillis, nice ditch inside to Stoker. Another finish for Stoker, but it was all thanks to the 5'7" junior Elijah Lillis.
Well, sometimes it's just your night. You start to feel it in warm-ups. You know, today's going to be my day. And he has come off the bench and given Tipton a huge spark.
It has been almost all Tipton. Valdez Sandoval. That's to set the record straight.
That's what he does for Frankfort. He leads the team in three-point percentage at 37% on the season. A very gifted two-point shooter as well. He started a majority of the season for them, and then lately has been coming off the bench.
Stoker thought about the three. When they're falling, they're falling. Muse no good. But Stoker off the bench really has been the difference early on. Valdez Sandoval, another three ball, this one off the iron.
That's how he got his feet set, but he faded backwards just a little bit and left it short. Dolezal so crafty. Look at that.
Great footwork with the up and under. Well, and Tipton's out to a 7-point lead, and Carson Dolezal really only has 4 points. So they're getting it done around him.
Yeah, you love the effort, especially from Stoker, who's got 7 points coming off the bench for him. There's a replay of that foul from a minute ago. Siegfried got bumped.
Look how deep Tipton is going, too. They are platoon swapping, essentially, as Debris comes back into the game for Frankfurt.
This could very well be because they played a game last night and they want to keep guys fresh.
Nice take with a right hand from Siegfried.
Or Coach Lefebvre heard me in the pregame say neither one of these teams are that deep and he wants to prove me wrong tonight. Could be either way. I'm good with either.
Sort of a broadcaster curse type deal?
Maybe.
Swan, three ball good.
Well, that's 2 3-pointers for him early on in this game, and he's been able to step into both of them. They're going to have to do something to get him out of his comfort zone.
Siegfried almost lost his footing that time, getting worked on by Alec Weddle. King from the corner. A redemption three. The air ball, the last one. This one's pure.
They needed that too. Now down by just 5. If you're Frankfort, maybe you get a takeaway here, get a quick bucket before you end the quarter and try to take some momentum.
Boy, it's really felt like all Tipton. It did maybe a minute or so ago when we were saying it, but it's only a 5-point game.
You can see Frankfort really trying to lock up defensively right now too.
Valdez Sandoval falls down, and taking advantage is Grant Shively. 3 ball from a couple steps beyond the arc makes it 20-12 as we round out the first quarter of play. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll finish out the first half here on ISC Sports Network.
Here, and that fluffy white stuff has started to fall. But if you have a Snowway snowplow from Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden, then you can tell old man Winter to beat it. Stronger, smarter, better through innovation is more than just a slogan. It's the heart and soul behind every Snowway product. With a relentless pursuit to design and manufacture the most durable and efficient plows, Snowway's the strongest name in the industry. And at Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden, we wouldn't have it any other way. Don't get stuck shoveling this winter. Head on over to Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden and get yours today.
Tipton on top of Frankfort, 20-12 here in Case Arena on the ISC Sports Network. It is the second quarter of action. As there you see Lou Lefebvre settling down the troops. It was a first half that obviously it went Tipton's way at the end. They got a 3 to close things out from Grant Shively. Second quarter brought to you by Gangler Insurance. Gangler Insurance agencies offer multiple insurance options as well as locations to better serve you, with locations in Mulberry, Rossville, Frankfort, Michigantown, and Delphi. In your time of need, we'll be there. So Tipton basketball after the made three-pointer from Shively.
What I like out of Tipton in the first quarter is their patience on offense. They're doing a good job of moving the basketball, and they're doing it with the pass. Not a lot of dribbling.
It's a really balanced offensive attack. And like you mentioned, spacing the floor with the pass. A 3 from Stoker, a little off balance, but it's still good.
Stoker's not missed here tonight. I mean, 10 points already in what, about 4 minutes of game action?
Siegfried tried to go baseline. Nice defense that time by Swan. Valdez Sandoval getting pressured by Weddle.
Be really careful there for Henry. That's twice I've seen him make that move in this game, and could have been called for travel both times.
Frankfort looks like they're kind of living and dying by the 3 here early in this game, which could be bad news for them. That's not really their specialty. Dolezal will try one, though, for Tipton. Offensive rebound, Shively.
That's a great point about Frankfort, Mike. And I know that Damon Moore is not necessarily an offensive juggernaut, averages 6 points per game. But with Seward, the only player with real size on the bench with foul trouble, I would love to see them at least give him a touch.
Swan can't connect on his, it would have been his third 3 of the night. Almost an errant pass there from King. Valdez Sandoval did well to save it. And Malik King has been stifled on his way to the basket a couple times, but that probe still has created some space for his teammates.
Yeah, Frankfort's had some open shots. They've just missed them on those kickouts. And there, you know, if you're Moore, you've got to present yourself a little bit better. You've got size inside. You need to show them exactly what hand you want, plant that body, and get the ball. And then even make them come double team you. It's only going to benefit the other players around you. You know, one of the better players here in Clinton County this year has been Mitch Copestick, and what makes Copestick so good is his passing ability from the post. I mean, yes, he's a scoring threat, but at the same time, if the double team comes, he will share the basketball.
Stoker's 3 off the back iron.
That thing's getting chippy down here between Moore and Stoker, too. Keep an eye on it.
Siegfried, tough little runner. And here comes Tipton in transition. Weddle lost the handle, but offensive rebound comes out to Lucas Swan. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick break here on the ISC Sports Network with Tipton up 25-12 over Frankfort.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
5:10 left in the second quarter of play between Tipton and Frankfort, and really the start of this second quarter, Sean, has been all Tipton as they opened it up with a 5-0 run.
I think what they've realized is they can really be patient in this game against Frankfort. Frankfort's a good defensive team. They're making them work, and in high school basketball, there's no shot clock to help bail a defense out. You know, you can legitimately have to play tough defense the entire quarter if the offensive team can hang on to the basketball and take care of it. And that's what Tipton's just, they're working until they get an open shot, and they are knocking them down right now.
Jace Moore checks into the game for Frankfort. Rich Van Dyne trying to get some more size out there. A long contested three from Casey Henry, short. Not the offensive possession.
What a pass.
Van Dyne wanted. Weddle can't convert, and Frankfort has another chance to dip into this 13-point lead for Tipton.
Yeah, offensive foul on the screen.
Jace
Moore has got to come and set his body and then let Malik King come off of the screen. Instead, he was moving the entire time. As soon as he came up and set the screen, and King's got to wait till the screen is set as well and help bail him out.
Well, we talked about early foul trouble for Trent Seward, who has 2 and is out there on the floor right now. That was Jace Moore's second. Things have been physical here to start. But I think favors Frankfort, would you say? I mean, Tipton seems to be more of a team that likes to control things in the half court.
Yeah, a play on words would be they enjoy a dogfight. I mean, they do. That's the type of game that Frankfort plays.
Too early for that.
Hey, class of '97 alumni. I'm allowed to bring it up, I guess.
Well, it was a Hall of Fame induction night.
It was very cool. It was awesome to see the people that they honored. Obviously, great choices there, all well deserving. You know, when you wait 100 years to develop a Hall of Fame, obviously there's a lot of people that got left out as well.
They left one out, yeah.
So I'm not worried about me necessarily, but there's some good ones that I think they'll look at in the future. There's been some great coaches that have come through the program in multiple sports. I mean, our all-time scorer in basketball history sitting on the bench right now as an assistant coach there, and Andy Foster. Got some people do some big things after coming through school and graduating.
Picked up his 3rd foul, so he takes a seat on the bench. And Damon Moore checks in for Frankfort. Swan on the dribble. Seward, a long 2-pointer, got it in the face of Damon Moore, and a little clap.
Yeah,
from Seward right to Damon Moore coming down the court.
Definitely talking to him all the way back, wasn't he?
It's still the second quarter. Nifty pass from Valdez Sandoval. King can't convert.
Well, the officials missed one there.
And
there's a kick to the head.
Up. Wow. Seward and Henry going at it, and now a foul on the offensive side of things for Tipton. As Dolezal was hacked, he's got some words from Malik King.
And here we go. We got people talking again. I told you this game would get chippy. These are two teams that like to get after you defensively, so the officials are going to have to try to get a hold of this. I mean, that right there, there's no play on the basketball.
Yeah. Referees tonight are Mike DuBois, Steven Tyler, and Ethan Foxworthy, and they're going to have their hands full if this theme persists throughout the evening. More free throws for Dolezal as he makes the first. So now into the game for Tipton come Dylan Muse and Elijah Lillis as they check out Grant Shively and Lucas Swan.
I mean, both these head coaches, they want their teams to play hard, but they don't want them to play dirty. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to pick on Casey Henry, but he walked by and kicked Seward in the head on the way down, and that was 110% intentional. So the officials, they missed it. He could have very well been kicked out of this game for that play.
Well, and you also have to think about sectionals coming up, a week, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, they got one,
the
they got one game left.
The second to last regular season game, essentially. That sectional bracket comes out tomorrow. Valdez Sandoval on the retreat dribble, tries a three and got it.
That's what he does. He's a spark plug off the bench. A couple of threes for him.
Not the most conventional shot, but they fall more frequently than anybody else on his team.
He's got great rotation on the ball, which is probably the biggest attribute he's got, and he does a good job of squaring up his feet.
Seward a three. Couldn't get it.
Malik King may have 10 rebounds before halftime. I mean, he's done a great job crashing the boards for the Dogs.
Kick that one to Debris with the right. Can't get it. Boy, Frankfort's missed a lot of shots close to the basket here tonight.
Yeah, there's a bright spot for Frankfort. If you're Frankfort going into the break, is you've had some open shots that haven't fallen. You've gotten to the bucket and hadn't gotten those shots to drop. If you can tighten up defensively down here and start to see a few shots fall, anything's possible. Did you see the Michigan State game today? They were down by 27 points and came back and won against Northwestern. I mean, that's why we play the game.
Siegfried back into the game for Frankfort. Tough take off the spin move from Carson Dolezal, and you see why he was one of our impact players.
Yeah, he's getting it going now. 8 points in the game for Carson, and he's starting to get into the lane. That's when he's at his best.
A three for King rattles out. Strong rebound from Dolezal. Back come the Blue Devils. Lillis has time to set up shop in the corner, and a foul underneath. This one will go against Damon Moore.
See, the officials are looking right now, and he's telling Damon Moore enough is enough. He's not going to get warned again. The next one, he's going to be teed up.
16-point lead here for Tipton with 1:07 left in the half.
I know Coach Van Dyne wears a short cropped haircut anyway, but some of the things he's seen out here tonight have got him leaving wanting to pull his hair out or scratch his head a little bit, just with some of the things that his players have done. And then also some of the shots, you know, they've had open shots and they've gotten to the bucket and failed to convert, but I've seen some contested shots as well that when you're down by 14, 15 points, you'd rather see them work the ball around and get a better attempt.
Well, and it's still the first half, too. Do you think they need to more patient maybe and kind of slow things down?
Or try to find a way to get out and run. I mean, again, Malik King's good with the basketball in his hands in transition, but they haven't had a lot of transition opportunities because Tipton has controlled the tempo of the game. They brought it into a half-court set and forced them to play defense for 30, 40 seconds at a time.
Also, Frankfort really hasn't created any turnovers over the last few minutes. And that was something that Coach Van Dyne told us was going to be a big factor in tonight's game. Hot Dogs have to create some transition opportunities, get out and run, and not let this be a half-court battle. Swan for three, got it. Basket will not count. I think they're going to get a moving screen on Grant Shively.
Yeah, the Tipton fans don't like it, but it's the right call.
I think it was Siegfried who hit the deck. Got leveled by the screen. Blue Devil faithful not happy. So 4.8 up on the clock.
Last time we were here, Malik King hit one from half court.
He got it up in time, but couldn't convert. 31-15, all Tipton here in the first half. Doesn't look happy there, but I think Lou Lefebvre isn't going to have too much to change in the locker room at halftime. We'll be back in a couple minutes for some highlights and halftime analysis in just a few moments right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Would like to think of myself as being a specialist in farm insurance because that's what I use as a farmer, is insurance. Crop insurance. I know the importance of carrying high limits of liability. Price is important. It's got to be affordable. It's got to be a main part of my operation and operating costs because I can't afford to have a loss without coverage.
Wouldn't you rather take your child to practice than to rehab? 28.3% of Indiana seniors reported that they have been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property. Clinton County has the third highest rate of non-fatal ER visits due to opioid overdose.
You are the #1 influence on our decision making. I know it's not easy to talk to your kids about drugs, but if you don't, who will?
Call Healthy Communities for information on a free program to help you learn ways to reduce risk factors that can lead to drug use.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Welcome back to the ISC Sports Network. It's your halftime show sponsored by Healthy Communities. Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition firmly believes that achieving widespread healthy change in our county is within our grasp. And it all starts with a 5-minute monthly health screening. Visit healthyclintoncounty.org to learn more. Sean, 31-15, Tipton over Frankfort here throughout the first half. Not a lot going offensively for the Hot Dogs. What do they have to change here going into the second half?
They got to try to find a way to change the tempo of this basketball game. If it was, in my opinion, right now, I know it's a back-to-back, and you're going into sectionals, you want to keep everybody healthy. But if you are focused on wanting to win this game or get back into it, I would full-court press. Right now, I would try to pressure Tipton and speed them up, see if I can change the game, create some turnovers, and then you got to get into the lane and try to get to the free throw line and score with the clock stop. That's how you're going to get back in it.
Impact player of the first half.
Definitely got to give it to my man Luke Stoker off the bench. I mean, I think he's been a game changer. You take his 10 points away, and it's only a 6-point game. So when Seward went to the bench with a second foul, Stoker came in, and he has been the man of the first half for Tipton.
It's been a physical start. We saw things get a little chippy. We'll see how tempers are controlled in the second half. 16-point edge for Tipton when we come back in a few moments to start the second half right here on the ISC Sports Network.
It'd be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be.
I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
Welcome back to Case Arena here on the ISC Sports Network. We have a little interview with Coach Nate Van Dyne from Frankfort, who is going to have some words at the half for his Hot Dogs, but the Hot Dog sports community caught up with him before the game for a quick chat.
Hi, I'm Colton Crum with HDTV, and today I'll be interviewing Coach Van Dyne and Senior Noah Debris. So first question I have for Coach Van Dyne is tell me a little bit about yourself and your previous coaching career.
Yeah, I got started at Kankakee Valley High School, which is up north just south of Valparaiso. And I actually got my first head coaching job straight out of college. I was 21 when I was named the head coach at KV. And it was a school that has not had much basketball success. And each year I was there for 4 years as the head coach. I was able to surround myself with a lot of just very knowledgeable people, people that had a lot of coaching experience and also wisdom. But I learned a lot through my time there, but at the same time it was also a time where we were able to progressively get better and better and better.
So what prompted you to come to Frankfort?
Yeah, I think it was a time for a change for me and my family. My wife grew up in Wheatfield, and that's originally why we went back there. She got a job at the school that she went to. So it was just kind of a starter place for us, and it was obviously also a place where I was able to get a job. But as the time kind of came, we had our kid of our own, and we were kind of ready to branch out and find a place of our own. But I also learned in the 4 years that I was at KV just a lot of the things that I was looking for in regards to a basketball program that I could kind of build and shape into what I wanted, but also it being a place that mattered. And I think there's few places where basketball matters as much as they do here in Frankfort. And I think evidence of that is just looking at the arena that we play in. You can tell that if you build something like that, it matters.
I have a question for Noah Debris, who's a senior on your team. You played basketball since your freshman year. And now your senior year, you're excited. You're going to be a big contender for the varsity spot. You're going to be playing a lot, and now you have a new coach. Were you kind of skeptical about the future, and how did you get so comfortable with Mr. Van Dyne and able to have this success that you had this season?
Well, to be honest, at first I didn't think I was going to make the team. And then he talked to me and all this stuff, and I just started working my butt off in practice, and he finally gave me a starting spot on the team. It was probably second game in the JNC when I got that, and I ever since then, I was just like, okay, I'm going to try to do my best to help this team win, and that's what I want to do, win.
Everyone that lives in Frankfort knows this culture of excellence thrives here, and it has been for 4 state championships in basketball. Yeah. When you took this job, did you feel a certain set of weight on your shoulders to, hey, I've got to take this team and make it the best I could be, and even potentially have another state title in the future?
Yeah, and I still do. You know, like I said, at KV, you know, it was a place where it was a great starter job for me. I learned a lot. But at the same time, winning wasn't necessarily expected because it hadn't been done a whole lot. Here, I mean, it's pretty awesome to walk underneath 4 championship titles each time I walk into the arena, but at the same time, there's a lot of weight that comes with that. So there is a lot of pressure, but at the same time, kind of like I said, I wanted to be at a place where they valued basketball. You can't really have both. You can't have valuing basketball without the pressure to win. So yeah, there's pressure, but at the end of the day, it's a welcomed pressure because it's what I want. I want to be at a place that wants to win. We've really worked hard to try and do the best job that we can to make sure that we're creating a full-out program, and that starts at kindergarten, and that's a long way off from us. But at the same time, I think it's important for us to make sure that we are valuing each level so that when they get up to the level that we're talking about, we're able to compete for championships. So, you know, it's a process. It's going to take time. But at the same time, when you look at the rate at which we've improved from November to now, you know, we've progressed pretty quickly, and I hope that continues.
So closing out the season, there's a couple really important games coming up, one being the sectional game. Do you guys have anything that you'd like to say to the fans and the community and everyone that's kind of brought everyone's arms around this team to send in the future?
I would like for them to come out and support us when we go out into the sectional. We're going to need a big crowd because we came into a sectional that has a few good teams in it, and it'll be a great sectional to watch. And it's here at Case Arena, so I ain't got to drive far.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of quality teams in this sectional coming up here in a couple weeks, but there's also some really quality players. So, yeah, to kind of following up on what Noah said, there's a lot of seats. Come sit in one.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you guys for allowing me to interview you.
Wouldn't you rather your child go to practice than to the labor and delivery unit? Clinton County has a teen pregnancy rate 2.5 times higher than the national rate.
You are the #1 influence in our decision making. I know it's not easy to talk to your kids about sexual and reproductive health, but if you don't, who will?
Call Purdue Extension or the Learning Network at 659-6380 for information on a free program to help you learn ways to help your child delay sexual initiation and prevent risky behaviors.
16-point lead for the Tipton Blue Devils over the Frankfort Hot Dogs here in Case Arena. Mike Folta, Sean Walker with the call here on the ISC Sports Network. It was all Tipton in that first half. Frankfort struggled offensively, but you have to think, you mentioned in the halftime analysis, you think that Coach Van Dyne for Frankfort is going to try and speed things up a little bit, but they also have to get Malik King engaged as well.
And I think that'll do it. I think that comes hand in hand. If they can get the game going quicker, that's when he's at his best. Again, he's got to take care of the basketball and value the possessions. That's a great start out of the break.
1 for 1 here in the second half. That is Siegfried. He's got the ability to light it up. He is their leading scorer, a little under 14 a game. Him and King account for about half of their team's offense.
You know what's great tonight in a game like this, Mike, is when you get the cheerleaders on both sides and they're both saying "Go Big Blue." It's one of those games where you can say that and you're rooting for everybody, right?
Colors. Out of bounds. Last touched by Shively.
You know, this has been a nice history between these two schools. Frankfort leads the all-time series 45-26. They just started playing again a handful of years ago, like 07, 08, somewhere in there. They took like a 10-year hiatus where they didn't play each other for whatever reason.
And you wouldn't have guessed it. It looks like there's some bad blood maybe between these two teams. It was chippy in the first half.
Maybe that's why they took the break.
They needed to cool things off a little bit. Well, the intensity was there for both teams. Nothing too malicious, but just kind of a storyline to keep your eyes on here in the third and fourth quarters. Long offensive possession for Frankfort. King, tough take through contact, and strips away the rebound. Moore puts it back up and in.
Those are the things that Malik King does for you right there. He missed the shot, but he stayed with it, comes back with it, and a nice cleanup by Damon Moore down low.
Malik King has been a monster on the boards for Frankfort. And fouled on the take that time was Lucas Swan.
I've got unofficial stats up here, but I got him for 8 rebounds at this point in time. We're in the third quarter. Look like you got ball, but definitely body down low.
So that is the first for Casey Henry. Swan will go to the line for 2 as he hits the first. 71% free throw shooter. This is a fairly strong Tipton team when it comes to free throw shooting. A little under 70%. Not great, but serviceable. Swan goes 1 for 2, but a strong offensive board from the football player, Grant Shively, a D-end in the fall. Swan a 3, got it.
Lucas Swan is starting to turn it on here a little bit now with 12 points in the game. That is his 3rd three-pointer made.
Well, when he could step into it, like you mentioned earlier, he's got such a clean stroke.
Seems like every time Frankfort starts to make a little bit of a run, Tipton has that answer.
Moore just shoves Seward out of the way, no call, but it's going to stay here.
I tell you, Seward did the whole pull the chair out from underneath him on that first initial spin move. I don't know how Moore kept his balance.
Well, that's the matchup to keep an eye on. It's 33 and 42. Siegfried, corner 3, pure once again. A little bit of a run here for Frankfurt, if not for that 3 from Lucas Swan, it would be much tighter. But Siegfried's hit a couple here to open up the third.
That's a great look, and a little reminiscent is Siegfried's older brothers, Andy Foster. We talked about him earlier being all-time leading scorer here in Frankfurt. We often joke that the Foz, as we affectionately refer to him as, that he never saw a shot he didn't like.
Siegfried's got a little bit of that same blood too.
Yeah,
he throws up a couple, some questionable ones, but a lot of them go in.
Not afraid to let him fly. You like to have a shooter that can forget about the last shot, unless it was a make. Then you want him to remember that and let the momentum get going.
So Tipton will start things out. And we mentioned that we thought Frankfort might try and speed things up a little bit. You wanted them to press here, entering the third. Haven't done so.
Now they've fallen back into like a 2-3 zone. And that's the thing you got to do against the zone, though, is you've got to box out. Dolezal makes him pay. He's in double figures now for Tipton.
King finds space, had his shot rejected by Seward. Blue Devils on the break. Weddle with the right lays it in.
Weddle gets in the scoring column here in the third quarter. That was great defense by Seward. What a block.
He got up for that one, too. That was a high shot from Malik King, who has had no success in the paint.
That might be the thing I've been most impressed with Tipton about, is how well they've played defensively in the paint.
Moore inside, got it over Seward, but couldn't finish. Misses 2 bunnies, and the rebound comes out to Shively.
Yeah, keep an eye on 33 and 42. They're close. One of them's going to get a call here in a minute, just because they've got to get them to calm down. There's nothing wrong with banging, and that's what the officials are letting them do right now. Bang a little bit, fight for position. But if you start to see chicken wings and some kidney shots, that's where you got to blow the whistle. Good look.
Seward with a dish to Dolezal, but a little bit of too much trickery from Carson Dolezal as he tried the behind-the-back feed to Shively. Ends up rolling out of bounds. So a rare turnover from Tipton. And as Luke Stoker is back into the game for the Blue Devils.
Frankfort had this as low as 11 points here in the third quarter, and it's ballooned back to 16.
Jace Moore in for Frankfort. King spins inside, tough move, and the foul.
There's Malik King's game right there. Been quiet offensively tonight with just 5 points so far, but look at this move here. Nice little spin move, takes the contact on the forearm, gets the finish.
And he converts the three-point play the old-fashioned way. It was Moses who picks up the foul for Tipton.
Still plenty of basketball left to be played. There's no reason for Frankfort to stop getting after it defensively.
You got to think they got to keep getting stops, but also keep finding a way to turn over Tipton.
This is a Tipton team that can score the basketball. I know last night they were a little disappointed, held to their low on the season at just 40 points. They're knocking on that door here in the third quarter.
Swan is good from the wing. He does not need much space. Got a quick release as well. Let's see if Siegfried can answer.
Nice
Henry,
ball fake.
the shot fake. Too short. Defensive rebound for Tipton. Swan coming off a screen.
Wow.
2 in a row. The senior Lucas Swan is starting to heat up.
He's got 5 threes in the game. He's got 3 of them here in the third quarter. He is straight shooting the lights out.
A long-range specialist, to say the least. King being worked on by Swan. Siegfried going baseline, was fouled by Shively.
There's some good sportsmanship.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go, fellas.
But those aren't the two we need to worry about, though.
Those are 2 of the nicer guys on the team. There's Siegfried going in the lane.
It wasn't bad defense by Shively. Just caught him a little bit on the arm, looked like. Rare miss from Alex Siegfried. 81% clip from the line. Now Elijah Lillis checks in, as well as Dylan Muse for Tipton. Damon Moore back into the game. He checks out Casey Henry. Jose Valdez Sandoval is back in as well. This is the first time we're seeing him in the third quarter, and he was really kind of what kept the Frankfort offense going back in the first half with that perimeter shooting. 2 misses from Siegfried. So it's still a 19-point game. Dylan Muse down low. That is shot rejected by Moore.
Yeah, good defense by Frankfort there.
King, nice lob pass. Moore created space, but was stripped by Dolezal. Dolezal in transition, can't finish with the right. And here comes Frankfort on the run. Nice feed in the lane to Jace Moore. Offensive rebound, and this one goes through contact. Nice play from Jace Moore after he missed the finger roll.
Yeah, way to stay with it. I was getting ready to get after Frankfort a little bit because they're missing so many shots at the rim. Moore missed what I would have considered the easier one. Completes the harder task and now has a chance to earn 3 points instead of 2, so you'll take it if you're Frankfort.
It's a foul on Dylan Moses. So Shively into the game, along with Weddle and Seward for Tipton. Lots of subbing for Lou Lefebvre and the Blue Devils. They like to really swap players in groups of 3, as we've seen throughout the game.
He's trying to keep everybody fresh on the floor.
For both of these teams, it's the second game in as many days.
Number 5 team in 2A is Tipton, and they're going to fully expect to go win a sectional championship, and then I believe they've got a good enough team to compete and make a deep run.
King found a way to get to the basket. starting to find a little bit more success at the rim. Under a minute to go now here in the third quarter. And that Tipton sectional, the Eastbrook sectional out with Alexandria, Eastbrook, Eastern, Madison, Grant, and Taylor. Not the toughest sectional, and Tipton really should have their way. Frankfort's got it a little bit tougher. They have West Lafayette, Macconaquah, Northwestern, Peru, and Western to deal with. That Red Devil team is awful good up there in West
it really
Lafayette.
is. I mean, they've developed that mentality. I saw a great article by Sam King today in the Journal-Courier that talked about, the why not us mentality. Twin Lakes did it a year ago, made it run all the way to the state title game. West Lafayette saying, hey, we got a ton of seniors on this squad. Why can't we duplicate the same thing they did?
West Lafayette, a team like Tipton that a lot of their leaders on the hardwood are football players in September and October, and it shows with this physicality and athleticism. Nice baseline floater from Weddle. That's 2 quarters in a row where Tipton has rounded out the period with a bucket. Lead is out to 17 as the Hot Dogs have a lot of work to do when we come back for the fourth quarter here on the ISC Sports Network.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
Welcome back to Case Arena. It's the fourth quarter with Tipton on top of Frankfort 47-30. This fourth quarter is brought to you by the Farmers Bank. Take your banking on the go with our new mobile banking app, the Farmers Bank, My Bank for Life.
It's been a fun night here from Case Arena. It's always great when I get to come back and take part. Obviously, I graduated here, but my heart has since changed a little bit. I've got kids in another school that, that's kind of where we follow when it goes sports-wise. But I still have love for my alma mater. But I've enjoyed watching Tipton play a few times this year as well. And I knew coming in that we were probably going to get a game like, I didn't expect the lead to be 17 necessarily, but I knew we were going to get a tough, hard-fought game from both of these two, and they haven't disappointed in that regard.
So here's a little bit of pressure from Frankfort, who really just hasn't had it offensively. Seward goes down, and we've got a foul on the floor away from the ball.
Let's see what they get here.
This is on Debris. I was just going to say, Sean, tension seemed to have died down a little bit from the first half with some more physical play.
But that's, in a way, that's always been Frankfort basketball, was just tough, hard-nosed, defensive basketball is what, in the days when I was here, Marty Uckelbarger was the head coach all the way through, to the current coach now with Nate Van Dyne. That's what they preach. They want you to get after teams defensively.
Another 3 for Lucas Swan. That's 6 on the night. King, spin move, inside, good. Now Malik King is starting to get to the rack a little bit as we rounded out the third quarter and start the fourth, but Frankfort can't keep trading 3s for 2s. And this zone is really just getting picked apart here in the second half. Swan to look from inside. He's got the golden touch.
Yeah, Tipton's recognized where the holes in the defense are tonight, and they're taking full advantage of it. It helps when you're shooting three-pointers at the clips they are tonight, but at the same time, they're finding holes inside the three-point arc as well.
King couldn't respond. Tough offensive rebound, but Debris turns it over. Lowering the shoulder was Seward, and he's going to get pegged with the offensive foul. Looked like a good call from our angle. And that's Seward's third. And now Damon Moore will come back into the game.
Yeah, he took that right square in the chest.
Didn't really have to. He's working on the 5'9" Noah Debris. Seward standing at 6'6". Almost got a foot on him.
I think he's gotten so used to banging with Damon Moore tonight that he just probably didn't even recognize who was on him. He just felt like, I've got to go hard. Damon Moore is one of those guys. He's built. He's going to probably leave some bruises on people when they're done playing.
Henry dribbles into trouble, finds a way to get off a shot, and draws a foul from Dolezal. That was probably the best thing that Henry could have done given his situation.
It looks like Henry took a shot to the nose that time. In the lane right there, and might have got away with the travel too. It looked like he established his right foot as his pivot foot.
As he makes the first, Henry a junior. Little brother Caleb's a sophomore on the team.
And for Casey, you talked about the lack of offense for Frankfort tonight. That was Henry's first point in the game, and this is a guy who's third in the team in scoring at 8.3 points per game.
That's a point we really haven't brought up. He has been just dead quiet.
So they haven't had Henry, and they're not getting what they typically do out of King. You know, if Tipton's game plan was to come in and say, okay, let's let Siegfried get his points and let's take away these other two guys, then they accomplished their goal tonight because it's exactly what they did to Frankfurt.
They haven't really given Siegfried much. I mean, it's
no,
been tough
he's had a
sledding for
battle
everybody.
for it.
Yeah.
It's been a tough 12 points for him, that's for sure.
This has been one of the better defensive possessions for Frankfurt. Nice flash to the middle from Shively, finds Seward. The reverse is good. And timeout called by Lou Lefebvre, I believe. It's going to be a full timeout, so we'll step aside. Bring you the rest of the fourth here back in a bit.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
54-33. Tipton over Frankfort with a little over 5 minutes left to play here in Case Arena. Mike Fulton, Sean Walker alongside you. Tipton has controlled this game for virtually since pretty much the start of the game. And they show no signs of letting up. It's been a real offensive technical masterpiece, I think, from Lou Lefebvre and the Blue Devils, as they have just been finding open shots. We've seen Nate Van Dyne and Frankfurt switch to a zone here in the second half, but nothing seems to stop the Blue Devils from getting open looks. The Hot Dogs, meanwhile, just have had no luck offensively, haven't really been hitting shots, and there's just not much space to be had in the half court.
You're definitely right. I mean, they've gotten hot shooting from Lucas Swan, but 5 other players for Tipton have scored as well.
Henry inside, foul on the basket, count it.
I think Henry must have heard me say that's his first point of the game, because he's seeming a lot more determined here in the fourth quarter. It's a great drive. It does a good job of getting into the arms of the defense to draw the foul.
And I think he had the mismatch maybe with junior Dylan Muse down the block. He had just checked in, doesn't see as many minutes. And now Stoker will re-enter the game for Tipton. Stoker, who was phenomenal in the first quarter for the Blue Devils, has gone quiet since, but his teammates have picked up the pace around him. His teammates must have heard me, but Stoker can't convert on the 3 from the wing. King inside, fouled. I think they might get Dolezal on this one. We're seeing some more determined drives out of Frankfurt over the last few minutes. They're getting rewarded by the referees thus far.
Yeah, I mean, these are the things that earlier they weren't doing. I mean, they were trying to dribble, and once things were closed off, they didn't force the action at all. And here you're starting to see a lot more of almost just like put down your head and get in there mentality, knowing I'm going to take some contact.
Well, both Henry and King seem to have made up their mind that they were going to the basket really kind of before the possession started. King good on the first. King a senior. There's some talk about being recruited from Aurora University and Manchester U as well. He's got some of the skills. Maybe a touch more finish at the rim would make him a more complete player.
You know, that's something when you get to that next level. To me, Malik doesn't have the game that he's going to come out and probably play right away. But if he can be an understudy and maybe wherever he goes, I think what Malik needs to decide, or if he wants to play basketball, is go somewhere where they have a solid upperclassman that's running the point. Somebody that's going to, you know, give him some skill set, take him under their wing a little bit as well, and then a solid coaching staff. If you've got those two things in place and you can just be a sponge, I think Malik's got a skill set that he could have a really nice college career at either one of those schools.
He's got that 6'2" frame, too. As we'll get a foul on Casey Henry. But he's got that frame, and you'd think they'd put him at the point as opposed to shooting guard per se. And ball handling is there. Still maybe needs to clean up some of the turnovers we mentioned earlier, but a lot of potential and a very versatile player in a lot of regards as well. Here he is working on Dolezal. No shot clock in high school basketball, remember, so Tipton could theoretically run out the clock if they wanted to here with 3:40 left.
You know, for King, another thing, too, is obviously gone through a couple different coaches in his high school playing days, had to learn new systems. That's not always a bad thing. I think it helps make you more round as a player. Develops all aspects of the game mentally as well, understanding, okay, this coach was teaching this offensive scheme and here's why, and now this coach has come in with this plan and here's why. And those are all things I think, honestly, if he continues to develop and he becomes a sponge at that next level, you know, by the time that young man's a junior, senior, he could be a starting factor for one of those squads and really play well.
Meanwhile, Tipton has milked away almost 2 minutes of clock just on this possession.
And this is good practice for Tipton right here. It really is, because when you get into the tournament, you start to see coaches go to this strategy. I mean, a few years ago, we had the semi-state game with McCutcheon, and they held, I'm trying to remember who they played. I just drew a blank, but they held.
One of the Fort Wayne teams.
It was Warsaw. They held the basketball for over 4.5 minutes. And Warsaw didn't come out for quite some time to even attempt to take the basketball away. And McCutcheon decided, hey, we've got the lead. There's no reason for us to take another shot. And they just held on to it, and it led to a victory.
It was a hard foul that time, as it was King who picks it up. Or rather, a jump ball, excuse me. Good work by King and Siegfried off the inbound. King had his shot blocked by Seward. That's 3 in the game for Trent Seward. And now Tipton can go back to playing catch. Give Tipton a lot of credit, too. This backcourt, their ball skills have been phenomenal. Not turning it over. I mean, Siegfried and then Valdez Sandoval and also Dupree are all over the guards for Tipton, as their Dolezal is fouled hard by King.
You know, you go back to the keys of victory, and they were value the basketball, and that's to your point what you just said. Tipton has done that tonight. Dribble penetration. Tipton has done that as well. They've gotten in the lane, and even when Frankfort was in that 2-3 zone, they were still using the dribble drive penetration to beat that zone. They've done a fantastic job. Fatigue was the third one, and really both these teams look a little tired here in the fourth quarter, but
the fourth quarter of the second game in 2 days as well. Well, and the game last night for Tipton meant something as well, as they were battling for a piece of a conference title, playing West Lafayette out in the Hoosier Conference. They lost that game 55-40. So Tipton coming off 2 losses. Probably going to hold on here tonight. And then up next they have LaPel. And then a relatively easy sectional.
Yeah, and that sectional draw, I believe, is this weekend. I think it's Sunday that they roll those out. So all these teams will start to learn their fate of, you know, first-round buys and things of that nature. Find out who they face. For Tipton, I think it's going to be important because of what you just said. The sectional on paper looks like it should be theirs for the taking.
There's really no reason why they shouldn't run the table at the sectional tournament easily.
But if you're Lou Lefebvre, you've got to make them think that they're still dogs.
Right. And so this has been a good game for them then to come out. A nice three from Siegfried.
Sure.
Long range. A little too late. But this is a big game for them in the regards of, maintaining that demeanor throughout the rest of the regular season and a sectional tournament as well. I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy things happen in Indiana high school basketball.
Good look. Been impressed with Seward tonight. I really have. He hasn't done a ton in the scoring column, but defensively, the blocks, the rebounds, he's got the height to bang with more. Maybe not necessarily the thickness or size, but man, he has done a really nice job. No matter what he's done, whether it's been rebounding, passing, scoring, he's done a little bit of everything tonight.
This team just plays so well together. Tipton does.
I think that's just part of the demands of Coach Lou Lefebvre. I mean, again, going back to his coaching days at Providence, all the way through the current, 13 wins are his fewest that any of his teams have had. Obviously, I already surpassed that this year with 14 victories. I'm going to get a 15th here tonight.
Siegfried too strong on the jumper from the baseline. A minute left and I believe a timeout.
Quick time, yeah, get a substitution in.
Get some subs in. We'll stay right here.
Opportunity to get Shively and Weddle out of the game as well.
That's really the only concern for Tipton moving forward is everybody staying healthy. We mentioned a somewhat soft sectional, obviously, maintain the intensity, but as long as this team stays healthy, there's no reason why they shouldn't make a lot of noise in the two-way bracket.
Absolutely. And as if you needed motivation enough to go out and play high school sports, but you get to come into a venue like this, and Case Arena is one of the renowned gymnasiums in the state of Indiana, and I'm not just saying that because I went to school here, because personally, I didn't realize how cool the gym was until after I'd graduated and saw a lot of other gyms and said, wow, we had a really cool gymnasium. But, it's pretty awesome. Everett Case Arena, they had the Hall of Fame induction night. Case went in 4 state championships that he led the Hot Dogs to back in the day. The movie Blue Chips was filmed in here.
That's right. The Everett Case Arena.
A lot of people can talk about before-class basketball, but this place was packed. I mean, regular season games on a Friday night, you would see this gym full. You'd have to come buy tickets midweek to even guarantee you were going to, have a comfortable seat where you wanted to be in the gymnasium. Obviously, the overall basketball tournament itself, state finals, still have that luster, but I think the sectionals, the way they're kind of lined out, have lost a little bit of that luster.
Under 30 seconds now as it's only a 13-point game. It feels like a lot more just because Tipton has been in such control.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I just looked down at the score again here.
It feels like it should be 20 or 30. I mean, especially class, 2, 3A high school basketball, you get a lot of these ridiculous scores. This one really was controlled by Tipton from start to finish. And it was good to see some tensions kind of cool off a little bit from the first half.
Yeah, you want you guys to play to the final whistle, but if I'm Coach Van Dyne, I understand why he's taking Kevin Espinoza out here. I mean, you want to pressure the basketball, but he literally just used Elijah Lillis as a staircase right there, just kind of walked all over him, knocking him to the floor.
Lillis makes the first free throw of the 1-and-1.
I just still think it's crazy, Mike, that the basketball season is winding down. I mean, we're going to have our doubleheader next Friday night on the ISC Sports Network in this area, but I can't believe it seems like it just started and we're already talking about the tournament. That's how quick it goes anymore.
One more regular season game, and then it's sectional time. Up next for Frankfort, they're at Logansport. Tipton has LaPel. We will get to some analysis and highlights right after this from the ISC Sports Network.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals in the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Wouldn't you rather take your child to practice than to rehab? 28.3% of Indiana seniors reported that they have been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property. Clinton County has the third highest rate of non-fatal ER visits due to opioid overdose.
You are the #1 influence on our decision making. I know it's not easy to talk to your kids about drugs, but if you don't, who will?
Call Healthy Communities for information on a free program to help you learn ways to reduce risk factors that can lead to drug use.
Hi, I'm Ashley with the Farmers Bank. I'm here to introduce the Farmers Bank mobile banking app for your smartphone. Find us at the App Store or the Play Store. To find our app, search for the Farmers Bank Mobile Banking by Serve Solutions. Have your finances at your fingertips anytime, all the time. Sign up today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Tipton takes the day over Frankfort, 57-42, the final score. This is your post-game wrap-up brought to you by Endeavor Communications. If you want a reliable, friendly, super fast internet connection, Endeavor is the company to call. Our number is 1-800-922-6677 or online at www.weendeavor.com. Sean, this one was really tempted from start to finish. They controlled the tempo through all 4 quarters.
They did. Tipton came in with a great game plan. They were hungry and mad after last night's loss to West Lafayette, and they came in and right from the get-go set the tone. I thought they did a fantastic job tonight on the offensive end of controlling the tempo from start to finish. They never let Frankfort try to speed the game up or change things on them. They did what they wanted to do all night long, and that's why they were successful.
The play of the game does not belong to the winning team. This is Alex Siegfried of Frankfort. This one is brought to you by Wabash National. Wabash National Corporation is a diversified industrial manufacturing business with an expanding product portfolio, a growing presence in many industries, and a commitment to continuous improvement. To learn more, visit wabashnational.com. There you see it, the steal and the spin move. And that was back in the first half. You saw that $1 million smile, but not quite enough to hoist his hot dogs here tonight.
No, he needed about 10 more of those, but that was a fantastic shot, and congratulations to Alex for the play of the game tonight.
Well, and that was really something that we talked about at the top of the broadcast, was taking care of the basketball. Tipton did that with the exception of that play, but really for the whole night didn't turn it over much.
No, they did not. They valued the basketball, which, again, was the #1 key to victory coming in. They took care of that, and the rest is history.
So Siegfried was maybe the leader for Frankfort, the player of the game, member of the winning team. This player of the game brought to you by IU Health, Indiana University Health, Arnett Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Providers deliver high-quality, comprehensive care for soft tissues, bones, and joints. Visit us online at iuhealth.org/Arnett or call 448-8000 to schedule an appointment. Lucas Swan for Tipton was phenomenal.
Oh, my goodness. He was fantastic tonight, was Swan. And you know, we're seeing some 2-pointers from him there, but 6 3-pointers in this game, finished with a game-high 23 points, and really carried the load here for Tipton. Congratulations to Lucas Swan.
Final score tonight here from Case Arena, 15-point edge for Tipton, 57-42. From our entire crew here from Case Arena on the ISC Sports Network, Mike Fulton, Sean Walker, wish you a good night.